On August 17, 2025, two close friends gathered inside a home in the remote area of Edinburg, Texas. 26-year-old Julio Cesar Soto Jr. was singing as a cell phone recorded the moment. Standing beside him was 32-year-old Freddy Mireles. They laughed, sang together, and appeared completely comfortable around each other. To anyone watching, they looked more like brothers than friends. But behind Freddy's smile, something darker may have been building for a long time. Envy. What he may have envied about Julio remains unknown. Maybe it was his confidence, maybe it was the attention he received, or maybe Freddy had quietly resented him for reasons only he understood. Either way, Julio never appeared to sense a danger. Freddy had been holding an AR-style rifle as they sang, but Julio continued performing, completely trusting the man beside him. There was no visible argument, no fight, no warning. Then, in the middle of the song, Freddy suddenly pointed a rifle directly at his friend's head. Julio kept singing, unaware that the person standing beside him was about to betray him in the worst possible way. Freddy aimed and fired. In a single second, the laughter stopped, the music ended, and the celebration became a murder scene. Julio collapsed as the cell phone captured the horrifying moment. Freddy then fled the house with the rifle and allegedly took another handgun belonging to Julio. He escaped in a red Corvette, leaving his supposed best friend behind to die. But he did not remain free for long. Authorities arrested Freddy the following day. He was charged with murder and held in a $2.5 million bond. He later pleaded not guilty, but if convicted, he can spend the rest of his life behind bars, proving that sometimes your greatest enemy is not a stranger hiding in the shadows. Sometimes it's a person standing right beside you, laughing with you, singing with you, and calling.
Alright, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone who taught me this truth. And salutations to luck out there feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, that who the world ignorantly calls God. His true name is Yahweh. Bahashem means in the name of. Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Son, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name is Yahweh Shai. And those are the names written in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, which our forefathers spoke, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners. You are the true Israelites of the Bible, the sons of Jacob. And once again, Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. And I'm going to be speaking about basically if they do these things in a green tree, right? Because what you saw right there was let's bring this precept out first. Luke 23:31. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? Okay, that's Luke 23:31. And what you saw right there is these two examples. The first clip, I believe it was a drive-by shooting. You know, you have this couple just walking with their kids in a stroller, and the van pulls up and basically, I guess, deletes the dude. And then the second video was a video, I actually saw this video. Two dudes, basically, two Mexican Jakes. Okay, Issachar. I believe they were both Issachar. Basically, hanging out. Looks like they were drunk, and basically they're singing, and then the dude just randomly just pulls out his gun and just shoots the dude, man. And all these things are judgments, and you're seeing love many waxing cold. Okay, and the scriptures talk about how basically, you know, there's going to be a great tribulation, and part of that great tribulation is what? You're going to see friends fighting one another like enemies, right? 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So you're going to see people that they thought they were friends. You know, they might have known each other since, you know, they were young children. You know, they might be neighbors. They might be, you know, family members, whatever, right? They're going to kill each other, man. You know, they're going to eat each other alive. You know, you're going to see people barbecued, trying to store, you know, because, you know what? Because there's going to be a Salakia, there's going to be a great tribulation, a lack of food. You're going to see these people go into the worst state imaginable. They're going to act very carnal. They're going to act very evil. You're going to see people, once again, eating each other alive. You're going to see people backstabbing, one another, okay? If you are not in this Psalms 91 shelter, okay, you're fucking cooked, man. Psalms 91, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, okay? We're in the secret place of the Lord. Lord willing, we are those men. But these people, man, they don't have that, bro. They're just out in the open, okay? And they're basically spirits just created for vengeance, or spirits created to be destroyed, okay? Whatever what was made in their lot, they're gonna have to basically do that and do those things, okay? So you're gonna see a time like never before once again, and if these people are doing these things now, just imagine when you take away their electricity, their entertainments, their food supply, their Wi-Fi, their take away their beer, their fucking burgers and I don't know, blunts, whatever these people do, okay? Yeah, they're gonna fucking lose their minds, okay? They're gonna lose their minds. You have to understand, man. These people there's something in this world. What is it called? Withdrawal effects, withdrawal side effects. Basically, I don't know if that's the exact term. You can correct. Someone can correct me in the comment section if you're listening. Basically, when somebody's on a certain drug for a period of time. Yeah, they basically have withdrawal symptoms when you take it away from them. Okay, so if some person, went years without a certain drug, it might take them a long time to get off of it, and their brain starts craving that drug even more. So imagine when you take these people's, their whatever they have, just take it away from them instantly, they're gonna start losing it. You're going to see a lot of people kill each other just because of that. Okay, and then you take away their food, then the brain will start thinking, that we'll just try to get whatever it can to basically eat. These people, they're going to be eating on rubber tires and fucking, trying to put, barbecue sauce on a fucking, candle wax and pretend it's, chicken. Just eating trash off the ground, that's how bad it's going to be, okay? You're seeing already these people crash out with, what is it, the recent heat wave that's been happening, okay? There's been heat waves. You're seeing people crash out. So imagine how these people are going to crash out when all these other things happen, polycrisis, okay? There's no getting back to normal. And let's bring out some more precepts, because I'm going to rant too much. This is the book of Matthew 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, that word waxing cold, I believe it goes into the word, the Greek word, suko, or it looks like psycho. So I might be butchering that, but it's spelled like psycho. Right, but basically, these people they're going to basically be that's what they're going to end up being like, though, psychotic. Okay, they're going to wax cold, so they're going to not have any pity amongst each other. Okay, they're just going to be killing each other. Like you see in these videos, man. A dude owed a certain person money, or dude said something on Facebook Live that made somebody angry or offended them. Well, that guy will find where this person lives and then shoot them in front of their children. So just imagine if this thing is happening now. Just imagine what's going to happen when all hell breaks loose. Because when all hell breaks loose, there's not going to be no police. There's not going to be police to help you people because they're going to be worried about their own endeavors. Okay, there's not going to be no, call 911 or call emergency services. When these different movies like The Purge, whatever you call them, it's besides the point. But police, there's no police, man. There's nobody to help anybody. It's gonna be so much shit happening, right? And people are gonna know they're gonna be able to get away with these things, right? Because what does the scripture say? 2 Ezra 15 verses 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, so basically they're not going to care about government or the mayor or the police say this and this is against the law. They're not going to, these people, when all hell breaks loose, they're not going to care about that. Okay, they're going to be killing each other. They're going to be doing things regardless of what the so-called law says. Okay, and even these people that say they have ethics and morals, and these people that say, I'll never do this, or I can never do something like that. Your neighbor Bill from across the street, this guy says, he looks like a perfect man. He looks like, Bill wouldn't hurt a fly. And then what happens, man? Bill, he's caught eating somebody's fucking heart out, when all hell fucking breaks loose. Okay, he's like, you find him fucking, he killed his wife, man. And, he's cooking his wife's fucking hands, and her head is chopped up in a plastic bag. This is the type of shit that you're gonna fucking see. Okay, and let's bring out this next precept. 2 Ezra 15 verses 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? Because of there's a lack of food and because of there's a famine, right? And all these things happening, people are going to basically, once again, all their ethics are going to go out of the window, okay? They're going to start fucking killing each other, start fucking eating each other. A lot of these people, they're not cannibals, or they never tasted human meat before or whatever, but soon they're going to be cannibals. Okay, they're going to start eating human meat. Okay, and they're going to start killing each other. They might not be murderers or whatever, but soon they're going to be murderers. Okay, they might not be thieves, but soon they're going to be thieves because of the great tribulation, the lack of bread. Once again, let me read it one more time. It says 2 Ezra 15 verses 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. So yeah, once again, all this, all these things are going to cause people to, all these different crises that are going to happen. The lack of food, lack of water, lack of electricity, whatever it is, it's going to cause these people to start killing each other. Okay, you don't think this is actually real until it actually happens. Okay, because a lot of people, they think what we're saying is just bullshit. No, this is actually going to happen. This is going to actually take place. Okay, according to the scriptures. Right, but that's all I want to bring out. Lord willing, this is edifying, and just Lord willing, this is a straight edifying lesson. And with that, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and salutations to elect out there feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, with sincerity, truth, and with charity. And with that, Shalom.